ins, outs, we might even have some shake it all about. It is episode 8, season 2, and we have a season 2 transfer special. It's July the 1st. There's a lot of players coming in. There's a lot of players going out. We're going to try and qualify this season for the later stages of the Champions League. Let's go and see who we've signed. We'll start with the outs because there's quite a few of them. Obviously, as you know, you'd set to a certain tick-over date and everything resets. So there are transfers that were done last season as well. So I've missed those out. First one out the door is Namandi Koka. So 19-year-old Dutch lad. He came through the academy, 81k we got for him. He doesn't look anything special. He's not going to amount to much. He's very determined, but that's basically about all he has going for him. Next, Elia Gomez. He was an 18-year-old Spaniard. So he came into the club. And we have a quick look again he started off at Barcelona. I think he must have came on some sort of free transfer. So he didn't cost us anything. He's got out on loan to Den Bosch to get a little bit of experience. Lucas Jetton, he went out on loan as well. So we'll skip that one. Emil Kraft, first sale of any sort of significance there. Emil Kraft, we brought him in on a free. He was there just to play in the squad. He got 10 games. He did all right, to be fair to him, but he's very, very slow and injury prone. We managed to get 2.4 million off FC20 for him, so I think that's a good bit of business that we can reinvest. Next, Jan Fabiowski. Now, he left us to go to Inter Milan. They're under 23s. So we brought him in on a free transfer back in 2022-23. So I didn't sign him. He was there before I came. He's had a couple of loan spells. He had a successful loan spell with Inter Milan. And then they stumped up £6 million for him as part of the loan agreement. He looks an alright average player. I don't think he's going to be anything world class. I think we've certainly got a lot better players in our squad. When I show you that later on, I'm sure you will agree. Next one out the door, Gennaro Johnson. So he's a Jamaican central defender, a central defensive midfielder. Again, came through the academy. Juventus offered 1.1 million. We thought it was too good to turn down. And as you can see there, he's just an average to mediocre sort of player for that for the Eredivisie. Probably an Eredivisie 2 player in my opinion. I've got to be very careful with this guy because if I pronounce his second name, I'll probably get barred from YouTube for life. So we're just going to call him Sam. But I think he's pretty hard to get money out of looking at his surname there. I think you'll probably agree. So he came into the club. Sorry, I've clicked on the wrong thing. I think I got a little bit flustered with his name there. He came into the club through the youth academy. Juventus again have came in with £925,000. We've accepted. We certainly didn't want him to come into the first team and do a live commentary on this guy if he scored a goal. Again, average player, nothing startling. So we got just under £1 million for him. Now, here's a big one. Here's a big sale. Our goalkeeper, our dodgy goalkeeper. And if you don't know why he's dodgy, you haven't seen episode 7, so pause this video, go back to episode 7, watch it, and then you will understand exactly why. So this guy came into the club. I brought him in. I brought him in on a free transfer. He did very, very well. He actually had a decent season last season, 9 clean sheets, 27 games. But I wasn't happy with him. He dropped a couple of clangers, and we got offered £14 million for him. Couldn't resist it. 14 million of pure profit, and I'll show you why very soon when we go to the squad, why I had no problems getting rid of him, because I think we have got strength in depth in the goalkeeping position. Carplan had already engineered a move with his contract being up, so unfortunately we lost him on a free transfer. I would have liked to get a transfer fee for him, but we live and learn, so I am at the moment going through any contracts of anybody who I think will be leaving the club in the next year or so, and making sure that they're under contract. And finally, Sutalo. So Sutalo, he did all right for us. He came in, he was a bit part player, as you can see there, 11 games in 5 games last season. He's gone to Saudi Arabia for 5 million. Yes, somebody paid 17.75 million quid for this guy before we joined the club, and he was just not cutting the mustard. He's gone to Al Ittihad. They only rate him between 3.8 and 5.4 million. I'm sure he'll do well in the Saudi league because it's not as big a league as it is in the Netherlands. So that completes the signings going out. Now, the signings coming in. Well, yeah, we did a few of those signings coming in as well. You can see there we've done quite a few. So I am going to be quite quick and skirt through them because I don't want you to obviously have to sit. We'll make it a short video for you guys. So first through the door, Unavar. Everybody knows him, Wonderkid on Football Manager. We brought him into the club. He has came in for £6 million. I'm sure he will get some game time and develop as well because he's 24, so there's still a little bit of time for him to get better. Next on our list, Joey Lenders. Joey Lenders, he has came in. He's a 16-year-old. He came in from... Where did he come in from? Yes, FC Emmen on a free transfer. So we saw the potential there of him, 16-year-old, and he was free, so we've brought him in. I'm sure he will have some resale value as well. Next on our list, Thomas De Martins. So he's a striker. He was at us on loan. Yes, he was at us on loan, and then we've decided to make it a permanent move. Sorry, I was confused with so many clubs there, and obviously he's been in the B team. So yes, he came in on a season-long loan. We decided to then pull the trigger and make him an Ajax player. He's going to be playing in the B team. He's a development player. £1.7 million for this guy here. I do apologise if my throat's a little bit raspy, but I was out singing last night, so yeah, just a little bit sore. Might be slightly dehydrated and hungover as well. Jesus Penaloza. So he is a Colombian. We have brought him in as well. Central defender, 16 marking, 16 decision making, 18, lots of time to grow. Needs to work on his passing and his first touch and technique, but we will work on that with him. He's come in from Union Magdalena, and he has came in for, I think it was 850k it said there. Let me just check that. 850k, yeah. It's a bargain, it's a steal. Right, next on the list, when I stop clicking all the wrong buttons, Ali Pagda. He has come in from Besiktas. So he is a predominantly left attacking midfielder, inside forward, possibly wide forward. He can play up front and he can play on the right. He has been brought in for £1.5 million. He looks a decent player, loads of determination, 16 flair. He will develop as well. Will he become a first team player? Possibly not, but I would imagine that we'll definitely get our money back and then some in the next couple of seasons from him. Arthur. So Arthur was an older player that we've brought in, a Brazilian defensive or central midfielder, just to give us a little bit of depth there. He's coming as a fringe player. We got him on a free transfer. He's valued between 6.6 and £9 million. Therefore, if we get a season out of him, and he's not really cutting the mustard, we'll sell him on. I'd imagine we'll get at least 5 from him. From the past, a former Football Manager Wonderkid, Brahim Diaz. We've brought him in again on a free transfer. He's cost us nothing from Real Madrid. Yes, we've got to pay his wages, which are 53k per week. But what a player he is, and he's probably best on that right-hand side, even though he's not natural at playing it yet, but he will be because he'll be playing there quite a lot. Look at the greens, dribbling, first touch, and technique, all 16s, 17 determination, 16 acceleration, and 16 agility. Absolutely fantastic stats. He will be coming in, and I think he will probably start on that right-hand side. Already valued between 35 and 38 million pound. So if after a season he wants to go somewhere to a bigger club and we can get that sort of money for him, wow, what a profit to make off him within a season or so. Another free transfer, and I know people are going to think, hang on, he's signing older players. This is youth to trophies. It is youth to trophies, but you can't bring 16-year-olds in and expect them just to come in and start winning games and doing really well. So what we have to do is we have to bring a little bit more experience in, players who do a little bit of mentoring as well to help the young players develop. And when these older players decide to leave the club and they get to an age where they're deteriorating, like he will be in the next season or two, then these youngsters then step in and get some valuable game time. So that's the plan with it as well. It's not the usual youth to goal that you might see on there, done by some fantastic people on the channel, where you get to 29, you get rid of them, and you've got to bring somebody in and fill the position with an 18-year-old or younger. So, Solly March, free transfer, already valued at £10 to £12 million. He can play in so many different positions. I've basically bought him in just as a squad player. So if we have a little bit of an injury crisis, or if I'm rotating the team, then he can come in and he can do the business. Who's next on the list? I told you there was quite a few here. I'm trying to go through them as quick as I can, but honestly, please do stay to the end because there are more signings to show you as well very soon. So, Jakub Kaminski, he has came into the club. This guy here has came in on a free transfer from Wolfsburg, and look at him. He's already valued between 37 and 45 million. Again, he can play on the left, but he can play in any position at all, apart from central defence and goalkeeper. But we might be able to train him up to play centre half if we need him to. This guy is 25-year-old, so he's probably already developed. Might get a little bit more out of him. Acceleration, agility, natural fitness, pace, stamina. He's a winger. He's definitely a winger. However, he can fit anywhere in the setup if we need him to. Again, if we're rotating the team, which we will have to do for Champions League football. What a signing this guy is. Neo Rapu. He is a South African, and when I click on him, you will see that we have brought this guy in again on a free transfer. So doing a lot of free transfer business. He has potential. He's 21. He can grow. He's definitely a bring in, playing the youth, playing the reserves, maybe send him out on loan, get a little bit of experience, sell him on for a profit. He's worth between 95 and 375k. I think if he develops, we'll get £1 million for him. £1 million will go a long way to putting it towards the wage bill or bringing in some other signings. Of course, if he doesn't live up to his reputation and we end up selling him for next to nothing, then it just goes to prove that he is a Rapu. Sorry, bad joke there. Right, who's next on our list? Lazola Maku. So, Lazola Maku, he's a 20-year-old South African as well. We seem to be picking up a lot of South Africans. We're doing very well with our scouting there. So he's came in on a free transfer from South Africa. He is a defensive midfielder, a central midfielder, and he can play attacking midfielder, probably a centre mid. Again, this is a guy who will probably go into the reserves. He's 20-year-old. He's worth between 200 and 375k. He'll be worth more than that, I would imagine, when we look to move him on. Plenty of room to develop there from him. Moving swiftly through them as quick as I can. Gonçalo Moreira. So this guy, again, central midfielder or central midfield, attacking midfielder. So we've brought him in on a free again. And look at the talent he's got. He's 21-year-old. He still has room to develop. He's a very good midfielder. I would imagine you'll see a little bit of first team action this season. But of course, we can loan him out or give him some B team minutes as well. And help him with his development. But again, another one to keep the money coming into the club. Emil Witbui. I think that's how you pronounce it. Another one off the South African Wonderkid line. He came in on a free from Cape Town City in South Africa. He is undoubtedly a winger. He can play in several different positions, but his dribbling 17. He's got pace, he's got agility, he's got flair 16 there as well. Very strong left foot, fairly strong right foot. Perfectionist personality. Already worth between $500,000 and 1.4. So he is somebody that could develop and potentially get into the first team and get games. Bruno Durdov, he is a Croatian. He's came into the club, again, free transfer. We are hunting down the free transfers here. This is the way to do it, ladies and gentlemen. If you want to grow a club that doesn't have a fantastic amount of money, you've got to make money and generate money yourself. You can't just rely on the board suddenly giving you loads of money when they don't have it. This Croatian can play on the right. He can play up front as well. He's competent at central attacking midfield, but he could be back up on the right. He's worth between 500 and 850k. Very strong with his left foot, so he's probably cutting in on that left foot there. We still have more signings to go. I'm very sorry, more signings to go. Savisco Timber, get the pronunciation right. Another South African, nothing to write home about. We didn't pay anything for him, so he has got a little bit of resale value. So we'll look at him in a season's time with the potential of selling them on and making a profit. Here's the signing for me. Probably one of the best Wonderkids on Football Manager 26 bar none. Saba Karabashvili. You might have seen him in some of my other videos. This guy is an 18-year-old Georgian. We've had to wait to sign him. The reason being is, at the start, he was at Dynamo Tbilisi. He had this transfer already done and dusted, 3.9 million, so he couldn't go in and do anything. We've had to wait until he was interested in moving. And yes, we have paid £13.5 million for this lad. But look at him. He's 18-year-old. Just look at him. Very few whites there. Pretty much all orange and some greens as well. And he's nowhere near developing. He's got a very weak right foot. We are going to work on that and train him to have a stronger right foot, because we need him to be two-footed, or at least have some sort of right foot, which he doesn't have at the moment. This guy is going to come in and he can play left. Well, he can play, as you can see, all over the place. I think we're going to use him predominantly as a left back. Zinchenko's getting a little bit older. Bas likes to play in that left central defensive role as well, so that gives us a lot of cover on the left and the left central defence. Possibly could train him up to be a defender, a centre half as well, but there's plenty potential there for him to be a wing back. And if we get his right foot sorted as well, it gives us a little bit of cover in the right back position or wing back position. There's more signings, and there's some really good signings coming in, and the next one is Aaron Anselmino. So he has came in from Chelsea, and he's came in on a loan. So we wanted this guy, we just couldn't afford him, but look how good he is. Central defender. I'm hoping he comes and has a cracking season with us and decides that he's enjoyed it so much he wants to sign, and maybe we can get his asking price down a little bit. He's coming on loan. Yeah, we're paying his wages. We're paying a little bit monthly out to them as well, but he is by far our strongest central defender now. So that has improved the defensive area that was lacking. With Karabashvili as well, I think that's made a massive improvement. Arthur Diaz there, a 20-year-old Brazilian. We've brought him into the club. He's worth between 950,000 and 3.75 million. We paid 1.5 million for him. Acer of Huesca, he is a 17-year-old right wing back, which has a lot of promise as well. I've brought him in, not for the here and now, but he might get the odd game here and there when we're rotating, especially the likes of the Dutch Cup, which we're not going to take seriously this season with having so many games. But Yuri Tielemans, 30-year-old, definitely a good couple of seasons left in this guy. Look at him, fantastic. Look at those greens. We've brought him in because he was available. He was available to sign on a free transfer. Aston Villa didn't want him anymore. We did, and the Belgium international, who's got 93 caps, will come in and he will start. I am sure of it. So that's pretty much all the signings that have came in on the 1st of July. Sorry, I nearly said January. The 1st of July. What we're going to do is skip ahead a little bit further, and we did play the Dutch Super Cup as well, so let's see how we get on with that. Is there any big names still to come through? Quite possibly. We're nearly at the end of July, and it has all reset now, which tidies things up. Another 10 players out of the building to make some money. Nothing to write home about, to be fair. Probably Mukwena. He's gone. Yeah, we made a little bit of a profit on him. £1.8 million profit. And David Yeboah, who's came through our youth system. He has gone out on loan to FC Den Bosch, where I have been assured he's going to get plenty of football. He has developed with us in the games that he's been playing when he's came off the bench. I was really impressed with him. And if we have a look at his stats last season, he had 3 games for us, scored a goal and got a 7 rating, so he did really, really well. So other signings, well, I'm really, really pleased with these signings that I'm bringing in. So we've got Adama Koulibaly. He is a 21-year-old that can play on the left or play on the right. He has came into the club for £425,000. I think we can develop him a little bit and maybe move him on for a small profit. Next on the list, now this is a big one for me. This is Andy Diouf. When I click on him properly, there we go. He is a 24-year-old French right wing back with defensive midfield. He's a natural defensive midfielder. He can't play right back apparently, but he is playing right back because that's where we're playing him. Right back as a wing back, so we know he can play there. He just needs to learn the role there. He's got all the attributes, the pace, the stamina, the strength, the balance, the agility, the acceleration. Needs to, I do apologise, needs to work on his crossing. Finishing, probably not so important because we want him supplying the balls into the forwards. But he is a very, very good player, and we have picked him up for 5.75 million from Inter Milan. They paid 17.5 for him, and RC Lens paid 13 million for him. So where did he start his career? Well, he started his career at Rennes, and then he went to Basel on loan, and then Basel signed him. So he's a bit of a journeyman. 1, 2, 3. This is his 4th club, and he's only 24-year-old. I'm not planning on selling them in a hurry unless somebody comes in with ridiculous money that I can't turn down. But this is a fantastic signing. And last but not least, Masato Murata. He's come in. He's an 18-year-old left wing back, Japanese player. He's got 1 cap for the under-20s. He's been brought in purely to try and develop and make some money on, really. We've paid 1.1 million. A little bit high, I know. But if we sold him today, we should get between 1.3 and 6.6. So again, we've made a really good profit on him. Right, let's go and have a look at the team so far before we go into the Dutch Cup and see how we got on there. Sorry, the Dutch Super Cup. I must get that right. I keep saying Dutch Cup. Let's go and have a look at the squad and see what sort of strength we have in depth. So starting off with the goalkeepers, and I know before anybody says anything in the comments, I've only got 2 here. I will promote somebody into the first team and just make them available for the B team at under 19s. Just currently I've only got the 2 there. We did sell on obviously our first choice goalkeeper, but we brought this lad in last season. He's had a loan spell with Willem II and he played really, really well. 37 appearances, 16 clean sheets was that? Or 16 conceded? 16 clean sheets, yeah. Thought I'd just better check that before I make a complete idiot of myself. He's developing well. He needs game time. He's going to get game time because what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and rotate the keepers so they both get equal amount of time, unless one of them is outstanding or one of them is ridiculously poor. Tom Hulsman, we signed him last season. You'll remember him. He is the 6'9" goalkeeper. He looks absolutely fantastic. He's developing well. He just needs games. Last season, I tried to give him some games, and he did have some. He had 8 appearances, kept 4 clean sheets, 6.74. Not bad at all. So these 2 guys are going to be leading the line for our goalkeepers. Now, in terms of defence, let's have a look at the left side of defence. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this by best position because it irritates me that they have players who can play left back. I'd rather look at players that do play left back. So we have Boss, who I said can play centre half as well, just as adept to play in that position. He is a very capable player, 24-year-old. We have Zinchenko, who is getting a little bit older now. He is 30-year-old. So potentially these 2 are going to take over from him in the not so distant future. I would imagine Karabashvili will be getting a few games this season and will probably end up taking over that role as a first choice left back. So plenty cover there. We do have Diaz who can play there, and we do have Cantadoy who can play there as well if needed, if we got quite a few injuries. On the right side, well, we're a little bit lacking, but the reason for that is there's only Zanotti shown there, and Ogbus can play there, but he's more of a central defender. That's because when we signed that central midfielder who plays right back, because he is not trained as a right back, he's not recognised to play there, so he automatically doesn't go into this role. Once he becomes competent at it, he will, and we will sort that out by giving him plenty game time. Central defence wise, well, central defence, we have 5 central defenders here. Ogbus, the young right-sided central defender, we're going to try and give him a lot more game time this season. Diaz, he's going to play on the left side of central defence. He is probably going to be back up to boss. Then we have Aaron Bouwadi. I think it's Bouwadi. Aaron Bauman. Sorry, I do apologise. He's a right-footed centre-back. He looks really good. 19-year-old. We've brought him through from the youth to give him a chance. Cantadoy, who's still at the club, who we tried to sell on, but nobody was really that interested. He's going to get another season to see if he's good enough. He's 22, so he's still developing. And of course, the loan signing that you just saw us bring in there from Chelsea, who is by far the best. When it comes to your midfield positions, well, in the centre of midfield, we do have a glut of players. But if we look at the players who naturally play central midfield, then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 central midfielders. So we have Manswerk, who was playing last season for us. Really good player. The only problem we've got with him at the moment is the guy does not want to sign a new contract. And we are trying to get him to sign a longer term deal. But that's not a problem. He's got 4 years left. Emre Gungar, who came through our youth system, 16-year-old. He is going to come in and hopefully get a little bit of game time. I've made him available for the under-19s. So, of course, he will play under-19s football quite a bit as well. And we've got Ozana here, who is a central midfielder, central attacking midfielder, and can play striker, but he's more natural in that central midfield. He's 18-year-old. Again, he's one we're trying to develop. Sean Stewart, who I think today has just signed for my hometown club of Newcastle United. Best team in the world. Fantastic. 18-year-old, well, he's 19 now on this game. He has a lot of potential. Left central midfielder. We are possibly going to look to loan him on and get him some experience somewhere, because there's a lot more experienced players ahead of him at the moment, but we need him to develop because he will be one for the future. Yuri Tielemans, as you've seen. Arthur, as you've seen. Andy Diouf, he's the guy who's going to play right back for us. So, yes, he can play in that central mid position if we have an injury crisis, but I very much doubt we'll have that many injuries that we need to play him there. And we also have Kisliak, who you saw last season, who was best positioned as DM, but we are playing him as a central midfielder, as a pressing DM out of possession. So plenty there in that position. If we look at the central attacking midfielders, then again we have a lot of talent there. We'll go down and scroll down to here, and we'll see we've got Fabio Vieira. He can play CM or Cam. We've got Gilberto Mora, probably our best signing. He can play in that Cam role, and he can play it on the left and the right, but probably more in that Cam role. Oscar Glock, who's been with us from day one. He's a fantastic player, 23, still developing. Kundi Pazzo there is the 17-year-old who's came through the youth system, and he is going to try and get a little bit of development this season. He's unambitious though, so we're mentoring him. That's why he's in the first team. We're going to mentor and develop, and he's going to play in the under-19s and get plenty of games there. And pretty much that's it from the cams, but we've still got plenty cover. 4 players that can play there, other players who are makeshift who can play there. On the attacking midfield side of things, on the left, we have, naturally, we have a glut of players. We've got Mika Gotts, we've got Bonita, so you saw them both last season, along with Kota. We've got Ansu Fati, who is a fantastic player. He can play up front as well. And we have Andre Ventura, not to be confused with Ace Ventura and Univar. So we have a glut of players on the left, probably too many, so we may have to do a little bit of tinkering there before the end of the window. Ventura, I've brought him in because he's 17. He's got absolutely bags and bags of potential. Very strong left foot, strong right foot, so he potentially could be trained to play on the right hand side as well. Anywhere I can play him to get him game time, to be fair, he can play in the cam role as well. So we will try and give him a little bit of football here and there on top of the under-19s football he is currently getting. On the right hand side, not quite as strong, not as many players that can play on the right hand side. Brahim Diaz, Solly March, but we know that these players here can always play on both sides, so we have plenty cover, and that's where if we get any injuries to these guys will step up. In terms of strikers, well, we are trying to get out of the club currently a striker, so we are a little bit thin on the ground. We have Kasper Dolberg, who we know from the last 2 seasons. Sebastiano Esposito, now he will not sign a new contract with us at the moment. He's wanted by Al Ahly. He's got a release clause of I think 22 million. If they activate that, we're powerless to stop him. Yeboah's out on loan. Sean Neve is transfer listed. We've decided we're not going to get any development out of him now. He's not going to improve. We did bring him in for 525,000 and we are asking 2.5 million. So if we get that, 2 million profit. And Univar, Emre Univar, who was in our reserves last season, we've brought him through. He's going to still play for the reserves, but hopefully he'll get a little bit of first team action. So that's the team. That's everything now. You've seen everything you need to see. There's only one thing more to show you, and that's the Dutch Cup. I am aware the transfer specials are a little bit of a longer video, but thanks for sticking with it. Stick with it another 5 minutes, and I'm sure you will be happy with how we have done. Well, I tried to do a dramatic build-up and play the highlights for you guys and record it, but for some reason, my computer today is not enjoying it, and the players are just stuttering on the pitch, and it's taking so long to watch even 2 or 3 passes get strung together. So, spoiler alert, we absolutely destroyed NEC Breda 6-3. Fatty opened the scoring for us in the 18th minute. Esposito scored in the 18th minute. 2 goals in a minute. Mora then scored. Vieira getting its 3rd assist of the game to make it 3-0. Fatty made it 4. Mora with the assist this time. And then Bass came in and scored on the stroke of half time to make it 5-0. Yes, they came back in the second half. We rotated. We made a few changes. Sumano got 2 goals. Riedwald got 1 for them. Sumano got 2 assists. Valieros and Paula got the goals, and Riedwald got the 3rd. And then Vieira popped up at the end to put the icing on the cake to make it 6-3. And we have won our first Dutch Super Cup. So, domestically, we've won all 3 trophies so far. The Champions League is where the challenge is going to be. I still fancy bringing in 1 or 2 more players if we've got the money to do so. The only problem is, financially wise, and bearing in mind I've still got to look at some coaching and some contracts as well. So this will change. We have 18 million in the budget and we have 51k per week to spend on wages. That's possibly enough to bring in 1 big name, depending on how we negotiate it, if we can spread the payments. But there's a lot of work to be done behind the scenes. There's still a few players to move on as well. So there is a potential that we might be able to free up a little bit of wage budget as well before the end of August. So I'm going to come back probably about the back end of August, show you how we've got on, maybe early September, finish off the transfer window if there's any comings or goings, and let you know how we're doing. And of course, we will be in our Champions League group as well, and we will see who we get. Fingers crossed we get a little bit of an easier time this time, and fingers crossed we can do it against the smaller teams. Failure is not an option. Top 8 would be great, but we must minimum reach the playoff rounds, or the board are probably going to wonder what the hell I'm doing here. If you've liked the video and you like the series, please drop a comment. I do want to see some of your comments. Please hit the like button. And most importantly, please click that subscribe button. Couple of different reasons. One, it really helps the channel and it helps me out fantastically. Secondly, you don't miss a video as well. It will come up on your feed and you'll be able to see it. And if you have any Football Manager friends out there, please do share this video with them as well and get them into watching Ajax Youth 2 trophies. My name is Andy FM Forever. Thank you for watching this slightly longer episode because it's a transfer special. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. I'm signing out. Bye bye.